The air trembles with the first sounds of battle. Smoke rises from the hills of southern Italy, twisting in the wind like ghosts of the past. Beneath a red dawn, Spanish knights prepare to ride for what they do not know will be their final time. Their armor gleams, their banners ripple, and the morning sun flashes across the steel of their swords. They are the last of their kind. Men born into an age of faith and honor, now facing a world ruled by powder and fire. This is the moment when the Middle Ages die. This is the last battle of the Spanish knights. The year is 1503. Europe stands at a crossroads between two worlds. The medieval order, the age of castles, swords, and chivalry, is collapsing, and a new, terrifying modernity is being born from smoke and gunpowder. Spain, newly united under Ferdinand and Isabella, has risen from centuries of war. The Reconquista has ended. The Muslim stronghold of Granada has fallen. The Christian armies of Spain now stand proud, victorious, and ready to carry their banners beyond their own shores. But triumph often hides transformation. The knights who once ruled the battlefields of Iberia now find themselves obsolete. Across Europe, black powder has changed the very meaning of war. No longer does valor decide the outcome of battle. Now it is strategy, discipline, and the cold precision of weapons that breathe fire. The great cavalry charges that once shattered armies are meeting a new, immovable force, the wall of pikes and the flash of muskets. It is in Italy, far from their homeland, that the Spanish will confront this truth. The Italian wars pit France and Spain against each other in a struggle for power over the wealthy kingdoms of the peninsula. The battlefields of Naples and Lombardy are no longer arenas for glory. They are laboratories for a new kind of destruction. At the head of the Spanish army stands Gonzalo Fernández de Córdoba, known to history as El Gran Capitán, the Great Captain. He's a visionary soldier, shaped by the old world but already dreaming of the new. He understands what few others yet see, that courage alone can no longer win wars. In April 1503, near the small Italian town of Cerignola, his fate, and the fate of an era, will be decided. The camera sweeps across the plains of Apulia. The air is heavy with tension. The Spanish soldiers are quiet, their faces marked by dust and resolve. They have worked through the night, digging trenches, building ramparts, and positioning their cannons. The scent of fresh earth and gunpowder mingles with the dawn breeze. Behind the defenses, rows of arquebusiers, soldiers armed with early firearms, wait in silence. Across the valley, the French army assembles. They come like a storm of metal. Thousands of cavalrymen, their armor shining like mirrors, their lances glinting in the sun. The French believe they cannot be defeated. For generations their knights have dominated Europe through sheer force of charge, the thunder of hooves, the weight of armor, the faith that no man on foot could stand against them. But this morning that faith will be tested. The first light touches the Spanish lines. El Gran Capitán surveys the field. His men are nervous, the French outnumber them, and the ground shakes beneath the approaching charge. Yet Córdoba's eyes are calm. He knows the strength of his defenses, the power of his cannons, the precision of his new formation. Then silence, a stillness so deep that even the wind seems to stop. Suddenly a distant trumpet sounds. The French knights lower their lances and begin to move, at first slowly, then faster, until the ground trembles beneath thousands of hooves. The sound is a heartbeat of the old world, echoing across centuries. They charge forward, shouting battle cries, the banners of France and Burgundy streaming above them. On the Spanish side, Córdoba raises his hand. Fuego. A wall of fire erupts. The arquebuses roar. Thick smoke covers the field. The first volley tears through the charging line of knights. Horses scream. Men fall. The power of gunpowder meets the fury of chivalry and wins. Still, the French come on. Through the smoke and fire they drive forward, believing that courage will save them. But every step closer brings another blast of musket fire, another cannon shot ripping through their ranks. The shining armor that once protected them now traps them in their deaths. Heavy, suffocating, impossible to escape. The camera slows. We see the faces of the knights, disbelief, shock, and pride shattered in an instant. The battlefield becomes a graveyard of steel and smoke. Hours later, the sun begins to set. The French general, the Duke of Nemours, lies dead, struck down by a cannonball. Around him, the once glorious cavalry lies scattered across the fields of Cerignola. When the smoke finally clears, Gonzalo Fernandez de Córdoba walks among the fallen. His victory is complete. For the first time in history, an army of foot soldiers armed with firearms has defeated the mightiest cavalry in Europe. The age of the knight has ended, not in glory but in fire. And yet Córdoba does not smile. He understands what has been lost. This victory marks not only a triumph of strategy, but the death of an ideal. The end of a way of life that had defined Europe for nearly 1,000 years. The knight, the symbol of faith and honor, has been replaced by the soldier, anonymous, disciplined, and deadly. The world will never be the same again. In the years to come, Spain will rise to global power. The tactics born at Cerignola will evolve into the legendary Spanish tercios, professional soldiers trained to fight with pikes, muskets, and unity. They will conquer from Italy to Flanders, from the Andes to the Philippines. But behind their victories echoes the sound of that last charge, the final cry of the old world. The camera fades to the aftermath. Broken helmets half buried in dust, banners torn, the wind whispering through the grass. The light of dusk turns the field golden. A voice narrates softly, "On this ground, the knights of Spain rode for the last time. They did not fall for lack of courage, but because courage could no longer stand against change. In the thunder of the cannons, the Middle Ages came to an end, and a new world was born." The screen fades to black. The last battle of the Spanish knights, when the age of the sword met the power of cannons.